What is going on, YouTube? You're live with a convict at the moment. And so, you guys might not can see too much right now, but we're just going to be, kind of fireside and whatnot here. I'm going to get with YouTube a little bit more, but you can see some damage here from the storm. I wanted everybody to kind of take a look and see. It almost did more damage than what. Here, can you guys see that? Hold on. Let me make sure something's not blurry. Okay. It's like you guys. Let's see. There we go. I was about to say it just looks horrible. I know that the signal here is tremendous. You guys have heard me rant about that. My followers, you guys know about that. A lot of times on Facebook, I'll do these rants to my personal folks, so that they can understand what's going on, because I mean this is insane, y'all. You can see the stars. I don't know. Let's see. You can see the embers. But yeah, Fireside guys, make sure you're always safe with this. I can see Mars in the background. This is only legal if you're basically on your own property and you're cooking something like a marshmallow, like you roast a marshmallow. I mean, that's bottom line. I'm running for sheriff. I'm trying to obey all laws and understand what they are, and make sure that they're not overbearing and that people can actually abide by them, and not everybody's in the jail. I mean, we don't need to have this many people in the jail. There's got to be a better way to handle this stuff. The probation officers, yeah, I understand they need a job, right? I've heard some stories about some probation officers, okay? And I'm not even going to say any names, but I'll tell you what happened, okay? Because it's fireside chat with a convict, all right? So, we're chatting, jail side. And, with this Lowndes County, what I call Clowns County, Horia, Georgia, inmate that is familiar with a local off-eye seer. When I say that, I'm referring to terminology called green language that is brought to my attention by Mark Passio, nonetheless, but I do refer to him quite frequently. I just would like people to get a taste of his work, because he's done a tremendous amount of it, and I know he's still working now, and he hasn't had a tremendous amount of funding. I mean, we're up against people with billions of dollars, y'all, so they're just not doing the right thing. Anyways, so your fireside and the off-eye seer, basically, I say fireside now, but we're talking about jail side, with another, I guess, alleged convict, because this person's basically telling me that since he's friends with with the off-eye seer in some degree, or let's just put it like this: there's some kind of way that the off-eye seers, when I'm talking about probation officers, they have the discretion to basically harass who they want to. And so if somebody did get in trouble that they're friends with, then they can show favoritism and things like that. So, that's the kind of thing that we're trying to stay away from. Not to mention, there's a hose right here. So when we talk about staying away from danger and dangerous situations, there's a hose ready to go, y'all. And we're live. So, I mean, there's just, we're cooking, this is what's for dinner. So, you guys, you want to feel what it's like to be not 30,000 feet in the air with an iPhone 10, fireside with a quote-unquote convict. And this is what it feels like. It tells you stories that are just basically, indicative of out of control circumstances in a community. I'm going to try to look up, but it just doesn't think, I don't think we can see the stars really at all. But guys, you know, we see the community can only take so much. I mean, we can't have a stranglehold. It's one thing to have law and quote unquote order, and quote unquote enforcement, which I do not agree with. I would rather hear the term peace officer, but I mean, really, we can govern ourselves, y'all. We don't need to have government where other people govern our minds, because ultimately that's what it is. Sorry if you are losing the connection. But so, this whole thing about these people getting out of control and being buddy and then going to where they're, these people are conjuring up, the DOJ, because I mean the DOJ was called for them, not for the victims of police abuse, but you understand that the DOJ ends up coming not to help but to hurt or hinder the situation. And I mean, we see this with the Kavanaugh. I mean, that's why I mention it like that, because I mean, we've seen the term unscathed, and everybody in the freedom truth movement knows what unscathed. Immediately they think of 9/11, and they think of the passport that just went unscathed, So that's what it's like to live in the South. You basically have a whole bunch of limbs from beautiful, beautiful oak trees. And wow, you can have a nice fireside chat. But this stump right here was cut and stood right there during the storm, so gives you an idea. But some of this stuff was cut with that Ryobi, which is really cool with just that, y'all. But you can do a lot with that. You'd be surprised. But then after that, you can finish it up with a little, hand saw or whatnot. So yeah. Anyways, Fireside with a convict, quote unquote, which means that you're basically up against a group of people that, according to the expert opinion, is that it's a family. Okay, it's not justice. You just got this group that is acting as if, basically, like Clueless. As if, all right, as if you have any kind of actual authority over us, because they don't, y'all. We just give them this power for no reason. Nobody's really catching on to this live stream. There's not that many subscribers right now, and we know why. I mean, what I've been talking about is like pretty hardcore stuff. I mean, they don't want anybody to subscribe to this. You're not gonna really think about it until it's too late. A lot of times. That's beautiful. Wow. I could see Mars like really good. So it's very bright right now. Maybe that's why I've been so, I guess, angry and everything else. I guess you can say Mother Nature's been pretty angry too lately, hasn't she? What's going on in my case is really bad. I mean, it's just like these people have more allegations on them now than I do. That's the fireside chat topic right now, is that the quote unquote convict doesn't even have as many allegations as the state has against them. So they just try to pile up all this stuff. They try to cover up their nonsense. They're like, oh, okay, hey buddy. Okay, well, yeah, this guy's stupid. So we're just gonna we're gonna treat him like he's stupid. And that's what they do to everybody. They treat you like you're guilty and you're stupid. And then, when they do that, then you end up with a situation a lot of times, a whole bunch of times. And I'm not talking like, oh, I just didn't do it. And you got all these I didn't do it's in there. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about people that legitimately did not hurt anybody and actually have like goals that they're trying to achieve. that wish they were out, that wish that they had a job. I mean, wish they could support their families in a lot of the circumstances. So, I mean, that's a burden off of the taxpayer. You let the father out of the jail, let him work, give him a job, give him another job besides some of these factories that only hire people that have like some spotless background or else. I mean, you can't get hired with pending charges, okay? We know that, right? You follow my channel, you know that. All right. I mean, it sounds stupid, right? It's like, well, duh, Ellen, duh. Okay, really? Well, take your sorry, disgusting asses or whatever you want to call yourselves off of your thrones for a second and understand what it's like to be a pauper in America, because that's what I just went through and that's what I'm still going through. Because I'm not going to declare that I have any kind of money of my own. I don't. These people have basically taken everything when they claim you're a convict. I mean, they just claim that. And then whenever the quote-unquote convict is in the period of completing everything he was supposed to do, I mean, everything, basically was totally ready, for a full pardon, was writing down all the situation and everything. They did not like that. That's when they attacked, y'all. That's when they attacked. Going back to school and everything. The first day of school, these people attacked. The very first day of school. So, and they don't write anything down there about that. They don't say, of course, no. They're trying to paint the picture with just allegations. That's what they do to anybody. It's like, oh, so-and-so's a rapist. Like, what? So-and-so's a rapist. Now they're a rapist after this long, and the statute of limitations for that is not limited in the state that they're in when it happened. And they don't even file charges in the American people's face because it's like the Gruber thing. It's like, let's just see how stupid the American people really are. Like, they're not going to read the law. They're not even going to understand that Kavanaugh is not supposed to be in there, not for that reason, but for a different reason, So, anyways, y'all, it's very moist out here. It's a beautiful night with you guys. I love you guys at YouTube. I wanted to build this channel up. I've been wanting to do a lot more. I've been, like I said, just under attack. Like every time you see me, I'm just basically done with going under tremendous amounts of stress that you can't even describe, that I don't even want to describe most of the time. But, it's just, you can see that there was some damage done. I mean, a little bit. See, it goes right up to this storage. Or just whatever shed. And, it's powerful, y'all. Look at this. I mean, somebody died in Georgia. So, I mean, we gotta understand that, this stuff is pretty serious. Collectively, we're all in this together, and we gotta pay attention to this political stuff for real, because I mean, people want to just ignore all the political stuff, and they just want to say, oh, it's not important, I don't care, like who becomes whatever. I mean, I've heard it so many times, and I've heard people say that Medicare or Social Security and food stamps and all that stuff is just free, and people just say that like, oh yeah, the government it's just free. I mean, they don't understand the properties of economics at all. And it's a large group of people like that, not just a small one. Let's see if I can capture some of this stuff. Like, capture me using this Ryobi real quick. Like, I mean, you can see, obviously, this thing is gonna easily cut that, but I can kick this off. That's done. But this one right here, I'll get that one too. And all the little ones like this, I'll easily get that, so. So, look, I mean, just bring this thing out. These tools are amazing. I mean, no, they're not all 100% sustainable yet, but we want them to be. And the fact that they're already here, just use them, but don't promote anything but recyclable, and not Agenda 21 sustainable, but whatever, sustainable for the earth, y'all. I mean, for us, for your children, because your children can't thrive off of pesticides. Nobody can. We're all going to die like that. So we got to watch this collectively together. And in the community, the vaccines are an assault on you, and they're trying to say, oh no, it's not, it's perfectly safe, we're just going to assault your child. I mean, some people need to really, really wake up. I feel so bad for people that have children right now have to make that kind of decision, because they're forced with like going to jail. They feel like it's truancy violations, and they have to vaccinate their child, or else. I mean, it's like throwing your child into the fire, y'all. Fire of Molech. These people, they don't care about anything but profit. They're getting extra bonuses for vaccinating multiple children and having them all like quote unquote timely vaccinated. We saw this disgusting display of this judge, this female judge, blonde haired lady. I don't even remember her name right off the top, but basically ordering some woman, mother, to get all of her vaccinations up to date with her child. And in the meantime, she was going to grant custody to the father. I mean, I don't know about the personal issues with the father and everything, but I mean, it's sad that the child's going through that, but what the hell, man? The child has no say-so at all between the situation. It's just the mother and everybody else staring at them, and a group of attorneys just sitting there going, ugh, ugh. I mean, just like snarling and just like, ugh. I mean, just the nastiest, disgusting creatures you can possibly think about, drooling and just getting off on the fact that somebody's in suffering and misery in front of their face. Yeah. That's what an attorney is. I haven't seen the otherwise, but I mean, there's one that I know about that's in the state of Georgia, but I mean, there are very, very few. Now, I have seen some online that have given like a tremendous amount of information, even, which I highly respect that, and it can be utilized. So we really, like I said, have to stick together. That's how it works. You don't have to have a government step in. You just come in, like Mark Dice, for instance. Shouts out to Mark Dice and all of his new books that I wish I could get, but I can't, man. Okay, I just can't afford anything right now. I'm in form of pauperous. I'm fighting the United States government. Yes, I have an iPhone 10, but what I'm doing with this is I am broadcasting to you. This is my means. This is my message to you in a bottle, so to speak. I mean, everybody's sitting there looking at me through glass. I mean, might as well say this is a message in a bottle for real. And yeah, shouts out to the police. So I mean, let's understand, Mark Dice single-handedly is outdoing the CIA operative, we might as well say, at CNN. And Anderson Cooper, the fact that people just keep quoting that he had this internship or whatever, but then he makes millions of dollars. He basically makes around, what is it, $80,000 per show or something like that. It's just something ridiculous. It's something that's insane. It makes no sense unless you understand that, hey, that guy needs that much money just to stay alive, because he's such a target and people can't stand his sorry butt so much that he probably gets death threats like nonstop. I mean, I don't even know. I have no idea, y'all. I mean, I say that, I hope not, but I mean, I would assume that somebody like that probably has a really hard time getting sleep. And they need lots and lots of comfort in order to get that sleep, because they're just not going to get it. They're not going to get it otherwise. That's what I feel like this is all about. Directives, just narratives, just being controlled all day, every day, y'all. But anyway, Fireside, y'all, really quick, I just wanted to shouts out to you guys. I love you guys. I'll keep this relatively short, but man, it's not over with yet. It's getting close. These guys the state went for a continuance, okay, claiming that they have an out-of-state witness, which we know that that's not true. We know that the out-of-state witness, quote unquote, is not in alignment with their lies and their allegations, okay? And they're just acting like this out-of-state witness is. But that's their last little bit, y'all. They can't just keep doing that. I mean, we've got our expert witnesses that are not going to be able to attend, you know, this randomness and nothing making sense. Basically, we're going to end up, this convict, quote unquote, here is about to write up the Judicial Qualifications Commission and the Bar Association on these people, okay? And I mean, I have to do this. And not only that, I'm going to have to go against the clerk of courts because there are, you know, from what I understand, there's missing documents. Now, I got a case summary printed out, look like there's nothing there. And not to mention, the guy shows up to court without anything, without the actual filing that was the reason why we were at the court in the first place. And so it was like, oh, well, I don't have that. I mean, it's like, what? Nothing, y'all, nothing makes sense because everything they do is indicting themselves, everything. That's why I said they have more charges than the defendant. This quote unquote convict has fewer charges than they do. They have way more allegations. They go from all of the officers violating, there's no excuse. There's no way an officer can possibly claim that they were acting within the realm of the law with this scenario. There's no way that they could claim that they thought that they were. And if they do claim that, oh, well, I thought I was acting within the realms of the law, it's just kind of like this, I thought I was fearing for my life type crap. Well, if they do that, then that's whenever you know, like you have to sue the entire, county. So follow the Busby. Busby's the guy that basically forced his way into the vehicle, in this situation with a quote unquote convict. And so he's being sued right now, civil rights violations. He's about to be sued one more time again. So I guess, I mean, I'm sorry, y'all. Like, really? That's all we do. We just have these officers that are just getting sued all day. I mean, that's their job. You pay them to sit in the court or to have another attorney step in. This Mr. James Elliott stepping in for all these Lowndes County people. Justo Cabral III in Lowndes County being sued. It was Chris Prine as well. But ultimately, we see it boils down to, for Chris Prine, it's going to be negligent hiring practices. That's different. But, I mean, still, I mean, it's just, he can be held accountable. Ashley Paul can be held accountable, and I get both of them, y'all. I mean, they just swapped around in my case. I mean, I get both DAs, and I get both sheriffs. I mean, and that boils down to Lowndes County is what it boils down to, because they elect these people, and if you know their officers do whatever, ultimately, the Lowndes County people are responsible in their eyes, even though we know that doesn't sound right. It doesn't, doesn't make any sense. I mean, other than the fact that these people are just claiming that, hey, you elected us, you elected us, we're able to do whatever we want to. You just got to keep your eye on us, and if you don't, then we have the free reign, and then when you do start keeping your eye on them, then that's when they start fighting back. And they start lying and, I guess, destroying evidence, in this case. So, we're waiting on this so-called continuance. How are you even going to go to trial with nothing? That's what I'm saying. Like, these people are just lying. They're in their last little bit of, I guess, span of, like, personal indictments and in representation of the courts. So these people are. They're representatives of the courts in the state. That's who Jeremy Baker is. He wasn't elected by the people, but he's right there, and he's racking them on up, y'all. An unelected official had two unelected officials in Lowndes County have managed nationwide, worldwide attention. Okay, that I know of. More than that. I mean, there's more than that. I mean, this is just a bit ridiculous. You want to know why somebody calls you Clowns County? It's like the Tupac song. You want to know why they called you bitch? I betcha. Sorry. Sorry about the profanity, but stop being profane. You want to stop looking ugly. You want to have a mirror, like, basically stop yelling at you, then stop yelling at the mirror, because that's all this is here. I mean, that's all I'm gonna be like. I mean, until I get resolved, I'm just gonna be like, look, y'all, like, look what you did to me. I'm having to still fight. Like, I'm barely alive. You guys would be dead. Most of you guys would have been gone, knocked out a long time ago. I know personally, like, personal attacks that I took upon myself, they're that were handled in such a way by me that I know were not able to be handled by other men in the same way. I mean, they would have snapped, y'all, and I almost did. I mean, I was pushed that hard. That's how much of a bunch of BS this is. Just imagine you're totally in love with somebody, right? I mean, basically. I mean, and all of a sudden you go away, just so happens to have, these FBI agents that are supposed to be investigating the officers. No, they don't do that. They go out of their way to go and harass and the victims. And that's what this is. I mean, don't lie to yourself, because nobody wants some FBI agent to pop up into their job and embarrass them whenever they didn't do anything. I mean, this person's not guilty of doing anything at all. Was never had any kind of suspected anything. I mean, just never committed a crime, not even suspected of committing a crime. Yet, boom, here comes the FBI, and it's about where you used to live. Oh, well, yeah, we had some of these officers in here. They felt like they had the right to come in your home, and we just want to see, was that okay with you or not? I mean, that's basically what you have. You have these guys that are sitting there trying to prey on the ignorances of the American citizen. They don't care. You're just prey to them. They don't care about anything other than the law. If you start spitting the law to them, they back off. They run. But if you don't, and you're like, oh, I have nothing to hide. Here, let's learn about, Kavanaugh, drinking beer. Or, like, let's learn about, like, his high school endeavor to the gym, you know. Let's learn about that. Like, what in the hell? From a traffic warning, you're inside of somebody's home. I mean, that's it when you know you're in effing La La Land, okay? You have to wake up. You cannot play this, and we're going to get resolved. Don't worry about it. We went and got the best, like I said, expert opinion, an expert witness that you can possibly have in this situation, besides an attorney. You don't get an attorney unless you're the mafia, okay? You have $20,000 to dump, $25,000 cash to put in the lap of somebody, $15,000 cash. I understand you attorneys out there saying, oh, I'll take you for less than that. No, yeah, okay. Yeah, we know what you do. You don't pay attention to anything, and you're sitting there shaking hands behind closed doors. Yeah, you might could get it done like that, possibly, but not in this situation, because in this situation, you've got a group of dummies that thought they could use their badge and play around with the American taxpayer dollar like it was a joke, and like their oaths were a joke, and like the Constitution is a joke. The American flag needs to be stomped on, and so does all the American citizens' rights, and everything they have in their private property needs to belong to an officer. Do you get it? See, do you even get it? So, that's what it is, y'all. That is what it is. So, these officers, they got to go, y'all. I mean, I'm really so done with these people. But we're going to get rid of them. It's just one step at a time. I mean, all you can do. You can't do anything other than this. I don't even care what you even file. If I knew what to file a long time ago, and I knew exactly what to file or had access to everything, I would have immediately fired everybody. I would have filed the appropriate things, and I would have had this stuff handled immediately. There would never have been a preliminary indictment at all. At all. There would never have been a preliminary hearing that would have withstood the information that's exculpatory, okay? That's been concealed, which is totally illegal. See, that's the allegation, and these are serious. These are serious things. These guys are racking up, charges. What am I going to do? File charges with themselves? I don't think so. I don't think so. You're about to get charges coming from somebody else. All of you. I mean, Inspector General, and if that guy's a scumbag, we'll go talk to Donald Trump, because there's no talking. I mean, you can't have a complete corrupt FBI department, which we know is. Those of us that have done research, okay, or even just watch one video on my channel. I don't care. One. There's one video. You watch that and you sit there and tell me the FBI is not corrupt. You're insane. You're totally insane. Okay. You have no business being in politics whatsoever. And I know who you are. You're my enemy. Okay. Anybody going along with that, you're totally my enemy. You're the American people's enemy is what you really are. We don't want to put up with it. The majority rules. Okay. At all times when it comes to humanity. I don't care what you're talking about politically. The majority will always rule. Once humanity says we're not going to play that American dollar BS anymore, I mean, then here comes the military might. They're just going to force it on you as much as they can until there's a toppling. People can't see the future because the future hasn't been written yet. You're going to be the ones writing it. So we need to understand who we are. I love you guys. I'm still looking for a vegan baby. Even though I know we're at war, y'all. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to stop. I am looking for a beautiful woman. I'm not going to give up on. I've said that they're all trash, and I feel like they are. I really feel like so many women are just straight scum. I mean, it's so sad because they're just sellouts. It's like so many parents, quote unquote, are just biological in nature. They're not a part of the nurturing aspects of parenting to the degree where there's total emotional involvement. It's not just this partial, well, I'm just going to throw you to the government garbage, that ends up happening. So, and we find that, the parents are ultimately, all of us are responsible. Government ultimately is just playing a big mommy and a big daddy for all the ones that don't have parents out there that aren't taking care of them. But we can get to a position where we can take care of ourselves, but it's going to take morality. It's going to take a restraining of oneself. You can't just have Planned Parenthood, obviously, being some remedy for a night out. That's insane. Nobody's going to be able to go along with that. Dang. Let's see, can I even... It really won't focus at all. There we go. It's so bad. I guess it just kind of focuses it when it wants to. I've been running around too, but anyways, guys, it's a beautiful night. The cool weather has started. The hurricane just brought it right along. And those mangoes can go inside. I mean, you can do a couple of things. You can put them in a greenhouse, obviously, or you can go inside with them with a light. Get you an LED light. There's one 1,000 watts for like $50 I saw. But I mean, obviously, yeah, you're gonna use some energy with that. But those plants will really do good. It's amazing. So I just want to give you guys this update. Like, I can't stand talking about that dumb case over and over again. I can't stand it. I want it over with, y'all. I know that they've got to be tired of hearing their names over and over again too. What'd you think I was going to do? Get out of a torture chamber and just shut up about it? No, I'm going to tell the world, hey, there's a torture chamber right here. Please, somebody do something about it. And I did. I called every outlet, you name it. I complained. There was no way. There was no route for that. We see that policeabuse.com, he goes over that multiple times across the nation. That these people, these officers, think that they can just take all the complaints themselves. It's like, oh, well, yeah, you got to tell me the complaint. We don't have a form. No, they don't have a form. And so when you go try, I'm going to go look up information on the officers. I got to do that. I just put all this stuff off to take a break. I just couldn't even take anymore. I mean, like I said, I'm at war by myself, knocking out like multiple people, y'all. I've got the entire county versus me. Okay, that's a big task to take on. And that's just what happens. That is what happens. So shouts out to all the ones that are struggling out there, you know, brothers and sisters of the strong struggle out there, whatever you want to call this, because that's what this is, y'all. This is a bunch of BS. This isn't real. We're not supposed to be going through this. I'm not supposed to be talking about this with you, but that's what we're doing. I mean, I am, obviously, because we're doing this. This is the message. This is the this is the way out for all of us. When we all start paying attention, they will have to stop and they will get their sorry butts out of the town. That's what's going to happen. They're going to look like straight cowards that they are, and they're going to flee. One of them's already gone. They're going to they're all going to just drop like flies. Watch them. They're all going to resign and everything else. Watch them. It's all over with, y'all. The stranglehold in Clowns County is all over with. And you can, I guess, thank Donald Trump to some degree. But, I mean, with all of this firing of higher officials that needs to happen, and for a good reason, a lot of times, but even more. But a lot of stuff came out. It's not over with yet. I mean, Donald Trump, he needs to have some, if he gets some indictments on Hillary and stuff, obviously that'll push him over. You want to know what's going to push him over into the next election? That's what's going to do it. Indicting a bunch of demon Democrats and some Democrats. And that's really what these people are. It's not bashing, black people. It's not bashing people of color. Saying the word Democrat is not bashing every liberal out there or every transgender or every gay. It's insane. It's insane to think that every gay is a Democrat. That's retarded. Excuse me. But it really is. And we need to pay attention to vaccines, speaking of retarded, because that's something that needs to be talked about. If somebody says, something about that, and they want to lash out at you, watch them. The people that have damaged children, like Stephen Colbert, he wants to mock you all day. He wants to mock you. He doesn't like the fact that, he's got that issue. And so he's going to sit there and talk trash, and he'll be pointing at you all day. And instead of suing these people and bringing it to light on his show and saying, look, enough's enough. But, anyways, y'all, all around this, this stream up, this is only going so far. People do not get these streams because, like I said, 50-something subscribers, I've had a major impact with just that. Because I don't just go here. I'll go to Live League too. But I do come here. I do go on Facebook sometimes. Facebook's a joke. We know that. But I'll start coming here more. And we'll start going to other places too. When they kick off Alex Jones and they kick off Mike Adams, I'm going with them too. But best believe I'm still listening to them. Everybody that listens to them, that won 2.2 million subscribers at that time, somewhere around there. Alex Jones, those people are all going to the platform. And they shot it all the way up to the top of the list. But we also shot Donald Trump, some people are calling, but Donald Trump to the top of the list. And, Pastor Manning was pretty much with Alex Jones for the longest time, but now he's calling him, make America rape again. And, dude, I agree with that. You're right. America would be raped again if Kavanaugh took the, position, because what do we want? We want Napolitano up there. And what did he say? He says that Kavanaugh's basically a treasonous little agent. These people, anybody who's trying to subvert the United States Constitution is trash. Anybody. They need to be dealt with. We have got to do something about these people. So I'm doing my best locally here, y'all. And I encourage you to do the same. I hope you guys understand. I do mean well, okay? I've said stuff, but look, man, please bear with me. We're all doing the best we can out here, those that care, with the little amount of sleep that we have. So we're all struggling with these waves, and you can see the signal is doing well enough, and just penetrates everything. I felt like during the storm I got more sleep recently than I have in a while because of the nature of the water just surrounding the home. And the power actually did not go out for us, thankfully, but it never will go out for anybody if we have a battery backup. But guess what? Guess who bought the technology for a saltwater cell battery? Guess who did that? And doesn't want you to have it, but then gives it to another nation to let them mess around with it while they took all their guns away. I mean, it's like a little reward. Like, hey, you guys give us your guns, we'll give you saltwater batteries. I mean, I don't even know what in the heck we're talking about here. I mean, Bill Gates, he gets the patent for this technology. He builds it in the United States, and it's non-toxic. And, you can fully discharge these batteries, and then you can have them completely recharged, and they last and last and last. And they last a lot longer than the lead acid batteries. Like I said, once again, non-toxic. So just imagine batteries that we could have and then we don't have. And guess who's behind that? The vaccinations. And then now you got Bill Gates is behind that too. So if you didn't know that, look up Aqueon, look up Bill Gates, and you can find out a lot more about that person. But anybody with a whole bunch of money right now is your enemy. So even the low level ones, those are like even more your enemy because they're like willing to sell out, They're willing to sell straight out for the money they get. But I mean, we just have to combat it. I'm gonna start making beats. I have a beat. I'm trying to make it like fire. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to put out trash. I'm not trying to put out trash, y'all. I want to put out something good. But it's hard to do all that stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, if I was working with some other people, I guess I could do more. I'd have to purchase tracks. I mean, think about that. How is somebody who's fighting his case going to be able to have money to purchase a beat, to put it on a track for you to hear it and bump your head to it and be like, oh, that's cool. I like that. I want people to know about that. I didn't know that. I didn't know that about him, Look at this guy. He's KJ for sheriff. He's like, he's from his town that like, they think they can just do whatever with their cops. He's not allowed to have black friends. He's a white dude, but at the same time, he's not white. He's the blackest white dude. Well, at the same time, what I mean? We're not comparing each other to like Eminem and crap like that. I mean, that's what we're talking about, these sellouts. But, you just have to combat it. They want to come out with whatever their style is, like, go back at them. You know what I'm saying? Come up with something that's even better. But just make sure the message is for everybody. In my opinion, that's what I would do. And I'm not going to put out cuss words on the track. Any kind of music, I'm not going to put cuss words out in it. Even though I do frequently get upset on this channel and other channels. And do my best to catch that. But if I don't, please forgive me. I mean, I'm doing my best, y'all. It's predisposition, post-disposition videos. Notice that. I'm going to start doing more. We're going to have to work on a website. We're going to have to stay in communication with each other, keep each other linked up with means and methods of bettering ourselves in the community. First and foremost, I guess, with each other. That's why health is so important. But I understand the struggle with trying to get somebody to pay attention to their health, because that is not a winning battle if there's not, the right state of mind in place. So, anyways, guys, I love you guys. Don't ever forget that, y'all. I know I say some harsh stuff, y'all, but keep in mind, y'all, we got to forgive each other during this time too, because I mean, we're not going to get any sleep. But what I've been speaking is straight up fire, big time. Okay, that's all I speak is straight up fire. So you want to know why somebody's censored at all? That's one of the reasons. But we're not censored here right now. I mean, you'll get these random strikes through whatever algorithm or for whatever purpose, but it's not legitimate. You just don't back down. Just, I don't monetize anything. That's what I'm saying. We're going to have to connect to each other. If Patreon does work, and I don't need to protest it based on the Laura Southern Lauren Southern incident, then I mean I would use that, but we can use our own. We're gonna have to just fund each other, y'all. I fund you, you fund me, and then we're a happy family with a great big Fed being strangled from a noose, and all the love once again from me to you. All right, guys, over and out.